In BDO, I just finished up the Magnus quest line, and I tell you, that's a pretty grueling chain of quests, and I did not really enjoy it a whole heck of a lot, but I did actually kind of like it in a weird sort of a way. You know, it's like when you're going on a long road trip and you look back on it and you think, oh, that was pretty cool. Went on this nice road trip. But when you're doing it, it's boring, it's sort of tiring, and it doesn't really feel particularly eventful. And that's kind of how I guess I've felt the whole time I've been playing Black Desert Online. It's a game that just sort of takes up a lot of hours of your time, but it doesn't feel like it's imposing on you particularly because it's so casual. There's a lot of opportunities in the game where you can be watching a TV show on the side or something like that, and so it's just not too hard to fit it in the cracks, and I just have kind of liked that grindy casualness of the game. In any case, the theme of the Magnus quest line is the great single path. From one comes everything, and from everything, well, everything merges into one. I like that theme of a single consolidated whole that we're all a part of. And it gets me thinking about life and how in life we have all these different experiences, and the truth is life is pretty boring in many ways. It's pretty uneventful. It's totally a grind, and sometimes it doesn't feel fair, and sometimes we don't really know what's going on, and we're just sort of spamming R to make our way through life. But in the big picture, it's all part of a greater whole, and the more I live, the more I come to an understanding of people in general, and I come to a point of empathy for them to see that it does make sense, all the things that they say and do, even if those things are sometimes cruel or poorly thought out or abrasive in some particular fashion. The truth is everyone has a cause and a reason for all of the things that they do, and I think the more you understand that, the more life becomes something that you can find peace with. It doesn't have to be perfect in order to be something that you view as perhaps as it ought to be. And life is filled with opportunities for redemption, and it's filled with opportunities for admonition. Sometimes we learn lessons in life, and we just can't really redeem ourselves because we've made mistakes and we've done things that have consequences. And other times we do have opportunities for a second chance, for an opportunity to do things better a second time. And we can apply the lessons that we've learned in the past as we embark into our future. But even if we don't get a chance for a do-over sometimes, even if life is just what it is, filled with consequences, then we can still have the benefit of admonition, of learning, and of teaching, so that we can perhaps offer some guide stones, waypoints for others to look at so that they don't get lost in the same way that we have. And that's, I think, an important consolation, that you don't necessarily have to get everything right. You don't necessarily have to have a redemption arc. Sometimes it's just a matter of being there to share candidly with other people your experiences so that they can know that they're not alone, and they can maybe use some of those experiences for perspective in their own lives. But life's just, all things considered, it's a thing that gives us no cause not to have peace. And whether you're playing a video game or you're grinding away in real life, think it's an interesting thing to think about, how the things that wind up being the most meaningful to us are often not perfect. They're filled with all sorts of a checkerboard of darkness and light, and it's learning to forgive, and it's finding the courage to share your thoughts so that other people can have light cast on their pathway too. Maybe one of the great lessons in life is learning how not to care. It's not that you don't care about the value of life. It's just you stop caring so much about what everyone thinks, and you just decide that there's a point in a time when you're going to just be authentic. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. And I think the more you let go of that desire for ego, that desire to have a perfect tale to tell, the more you have a story that's authentic and it's meaningful, and it all merges down into one single path, one journey that doesn't have to be perfect in order to be complete. As always, wherever you find yourself on your journey, remember to forgive. Remember to forgive yourself. Remember to forgive others. Try to understand where other people are coming from, even if sometimes they get on your nerves. And always look for opportunities. Hold out hope for second chances, and also understand that even if life doesn't work out quite the way it ought to, you can always be a light for other people, other adventurers, to shine hope into their pathway. Till next time, as always, thanks so much for watching.